Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to Dear Daughter. I am very sick. I've come down with quite a cold these past few days, and it's so frustrating because I'm never sick, and this is the second time I've been sick in the past few months. So I'm just taking that as a permission slip to rest and relax and settle in. So, this week I am sharing a beautiful podcast episode I did in the beginning of October on soul medicine with Emily. It is it's interesting to watch back. I really enjoy it, and then there's some parts where I want to add more context. I can often find myself being very hyper focused on what I'm doing in the moment and not see like the big picture in general, but specifically for like my own business. So I wanted to clarify. She asked what I do, and I talked about this one program that I have, the Robin's Nest, which is ending this month. And but beyond that, I work one on one with people, and what I do in those sessions is a smorgasbord of EFT tapping, subconscious reprogramming, inner child meditations, and also just like, what do you want? What life do you want to live? Like, what is your ideal scenario? And how can we dissect and go into how to make that a reality? And sometimes I do energy work and bring out my sound equipment, and sometimes we're just kind of talking and um, hashing out what is present so we can move forward. And I really love that one-on-one work, and that's something that I'm going to be expanding into as I am in a really incredible training for coaching. It's called the Institute of Coaching Mastery with Alyssa Nobrega. And this was a huge decision for me to choose to do this training and invest in this on this level. And for me, I know that, and I hear people tell me all the time that the work that I do, whether you come to a workshop or an event or even a yoga class, a retreat, that it's really impactful and life changing. And I am so, I don't take that lightly. And if I'm going to do this, which I am doing this for 2 feet in and fully investing in myself and what I offer, I want to do that with the best of the best. And I believe that I found someone to offer that to me. So I am embarking on that now. It really kicks off in February. It's about a year and a half training. It's accredited. It's the real deal. And so I wanted to just share that. And I also talk about at the end of the podcast, she asks me what would I recommend to someone if they're in a constant state of doing, right? If they're doing all the time, and if they can't stop, they never just like, they think that that is their ticket to worthiness or what have you. And I bring up God, I bring up having a spiritual relationship, and I bring up Christ, and I think I just want to offer a little bit more context to that, because the reason why I said that is because in order to have a spiritual relationship, in order to have a connection to a higher power, one needs to sit down and relax and drop in and go quiet, because God is in the pause. And if you don't like the word God, I'm so sorry. You're an adult and you can change that at any time. But, I believe that God created the universe. So those are two different things to me. Source, power, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, my point is that when you go quiet, when you meditate, there is a sacredness in that. There is this void that we step into, the space in which a higher power, source, God occupies. And without that, if you don't give yourself those moments of just pause and reset, then you're just running around in circles, wondering why this is happening and that's happening. And the lack of self-inquiry in our society and in general, like, what do you think prayer is? Prayer is sitting down with an intention and asking something beyond you for assistance. That's what prayer is. What does that require, though? One pointed focus, which is the definition of meditation. And so that's why I brought up the divine. And that is why I think it's so vital for everybody in some capacity to have a sense of spiritual connection. And this could be in a religious sense. This can be, the tree in your backyard that you want to worship, whatever. Just something that you look to that has the answers. And it's sort of like this inverted, like, it's a mirror, right? It's just bringing those answers back within you. You're like, oh yeah, I have everything I need. And so, I just wanted to share that, give a little preface, and I am excited for you to listen to this episode, and I'll be back next week with another one. Enjoy!
Hello, welcome to Witchy and Well's Soul Medicine, where we chat with folks who have found a way to be their own medicine. I'm your host, Emily Steckel, pharmacist, witch, energy healer, writer, and I am so grateful to be joined today by Stephanie Robinson, who is an embodiment coach. I didn't want to say embodiment coach, but it's a movement facilitator, energy healer, and alchemist. Welcome, Stephanie.
Thank you.
Yay.
Happy to be here.
Oh, so glad you're here.
Yeah.
So, I sometimes like to start these episodes by asking about a witchy little risk you've taken recently. A little positive risk taken with the intent to grow in some way. Do you feel recently you've taken any of these?
Yes. So today I decided I wanted to go to Kripalu this weekend, just for like a little R&R.
Yeah.
And I was like booking just to go. And then like my computer glitched and it was like showed me their experience pages. So like their retreats that they have that weekend. And there's like 7 of them. And I was looking through it all and one was reclaiming your sovereignty. And I was like looking at it and I was reading through it and it gave me this sense of like, ooh, like that's some like deep work that I gotta do for myself. And so I decided to go and do it. So I'm going this weekend and I'm very aware of myself. So it's just looking at those shadows and those beliefs and learning from someone new in a new space. Like it is a risk for me. I'm very particular with who I learn from. So but I didn't think of it that way. I'm just like, this sounds good. This is where I want to go. This is when I want to go. And this is what jumped out of me. Yeah. So that's my risk, is that I'm jumping 2 feet into that.
I love that. It's funny. I took a risk recently too. I haven't been to the dentist in years, years, like pre-pandemic we're talking, because it's like, you don't go. And then you're like, oh, I'm afraid to go. I'm afraid of what's going to happen. But I guess, at some point I was like, all right, I have to just do it because I'm a grown up. So I called and their next appointment wasn't until November. And I was like, okay, I'll take it. But a couple of days ago, I was like, oh, I have some time. I'm going to call and just see if there are any cancellations tomorrow. Sure enough, there was. I went to the dentist and I was so afraid. I did some Reiki beforehand. And girl, I didn't have any cavities.
Hey, it's fine. You would know. You'd be in pain.
It was such a relief. But it was like, do the hard thing. And the universe supports you.
Totally.
Do the hard thing.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Do you feel like you've done some hard things recently? All the time.
Yeah. I thought I like to work, right? I like to be busy, and my eyes get bigger than my, head sometimes, and I decided to step away from something that would be a lot to take on.
Yeah.
And what I thought would be the trajectory for my next, 6 months to a year. And I had to sit with myself and ask, like, do I want to put this much pressure, work, and effort into something that, like, it doesn't 100% fit?
Yeah.
And what do I really want? Like, I don't want to be working 7 days a week. I don't want to be the least amount of responsibility that I can have as I build the foundation of my business and my life is kind of where I want to be. So I have fluidity and freedom with my time and energy.
Absolutely.
And so that has to start here because I see it built like people take a little, and they chew off more than they can. And then they're just stuck in their shit.
Absolutely.
And it is really hard to get out of that. So I'm trying to think long term. And, but, it's hard to like have that dream and tell people and be excited and then like change your mind,
Yes.
But I've gotten better with just being like, yeah, I changed my mind.
I love that.
Yeah, like things
I
changed.
love that, right? I mean, things are shifting constantly. Like in the matter of a conversation, in the matter of like hearing a song, like, anything can shift you. And I guess like shift, I'm using kind of casually, but to connect something in your brain.
Sure.
That allows you to see things more clearly, I suppose.
Yeah, and I sit with myself every day. Like I am in contemplation often. I write a lot. I learn a lot. I'm not like the person I was a month ago, a week ago. There's always a turnover here. And I have my roots and my values, right? But I'm, everything's up in the air.
Yeah.
in a healthy way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when it comes to, knowing what you do want, right? Knowing what you're building, what would you say kind of like your offerings are now, the things that you really love devoting that time and energy to that you're excited to share with other people?
Yeah, so I just launched my first online group container, which is called the Robin's Nest, and it is comprised of 2 newsletters and then 2 live calls each month, and then a in-person event. And my dream for that and my idea is just to connect people with the cards that I use and with the wisdom that I've gained over the past several years and the resources. It's kind of like the newsletters are like a plug.
Yeah.
Like I've watched these videos and these podcasts and learned from these people and I know these decks and like how you can integrate them into your life, and it's just like this package, this gift to them, and that we play with those themes when we meet and discuss on our Zoom calls. So I will guide them through. One of it was like a sovereignty card and what sovereignty actually means and how to like embody that and be, little rituals to do so. And then I guided them through a sovereignty meditation. Then I record it and then they can listen to it. And just having conversations and being able to be heard and seen.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Is just, it's such good medicine. And I am lit up from these calls and I'm reading my newsletters and doing the practices and implementing them into my life. And it's just like making things more intentional and purposeful. And so that's what I can only hope for everyone else to do so, to feel that as well. And then the in-person events are just for us to like get together and like, they're all, of course, curated. I'm very like specific, but I like to do a lot of different things at once. So I'll have some movement and I'll have some meditation. I'll have some journaling. I'm doing a witchy event this month.
Ooh, tell us more.
It's a new moon. We'll do a new moon ritual where we're going to make spell jars. Yes. So I'll have all the crystals and herbs and everything that you would need for your specific intention for your spell. And then we'll use those for a visualizing, like manifestation meditation into, a sound bath.
Oh, that's such beautiful integration of so many of your skills.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
So much of your medicine, right?
Yes.
The things that have like helped you be exactly who you are.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful goddess.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm curious about your spell work because, as you know, that's like a great passion of mine. What does spell work mean to you? Like when you're thinking about helping someone craft a spell jar, how are you, like, what are the thoughts that you're thinking when assembling your materials, the allies that you'll call on in crafting the spell?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think of, the origin as like spelling, and I try to be really mindful with my words and my thoughts.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And I do,
we cast spells all the time.
And I do have like a sort of like repentant practice where like if I say something like not good, like I will I have my own spells and prayers that I will say over that or say towards someone, or like if my thoughts are going in a way, like I have my mantras that get me back to love, right?
Yes.
And so my intention is for people to be intentional. I use my crystals, I have specific crystals that are either for like, I have a compassion crystal and I'll put that on people's hearts. So like I want to get those if you, because it might be like you are trying to forgive.
Absolutely.
Or you want money, right? Yeah. So that's like the bay leaves, and like I want to share my wisdom of using this magic in its way. But I think I like the idea of the jars because it's a visual representation and something that can even be like, if you're going to a job interview and you're hoping to get a job, you can put it in your bag, or, a first date, you can have it in your car. Like there's ways to, the tangible, I think, is really important for people that are, not really in the metaphysical as much as they would like to be.
Yeah.
So being able to see it.
I mean, even like we think about souvenirs that we get on vacation, right? How a souvenir stores memory. It stores the joy that you felt when you purchased it to remind yourself of wherever it was that you were, right? I mean, it's a similar, not exactly, but it's a similar kind of practice, right?
And we'll do visualizing and a meditation beforehand.
Yeah.
So it's like infused in your energy.
Yes.
And you are, it's very intentional.
Yeah.
And we put meaning onto everything that there's ever been, right?
Yeah,
if this is one of my favorite from one of my spiritual teachers. If everything had meaning, then everything would mean the same thing to everybody.
Oh.
If everything had meaning, then everything would mean the same thing to everybody.
Interesting.
So nothing has meaning because we put meaning to everything. Well, of Course in Miracles, esoteric for you there, but it's quite a concept, right? Like we just make, so like might as well like we create it in our minds,
right?
Like this is gonna work.
Yes,
and then
exactly.
Just like our reticulating activating system is gonna
find it,
confirm that.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, that's so fascinating.
Yeah. Something to chew on.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting to think about it in terms of like language and words, right? How like when you really start noodling around words, how they start to just lose the. Have you ever had that happen where you say the same word over a few times and then it just kind of totally loses its meaning on you? But I think that this can happen. It happens over time, right? Where, anyway, I'm getting lost in my own thoughts right now. But anyway, yeah. So you have these beautiful offerings happening right now, and you mentioned before how important it is to know what you want, so you can decide whether to, add something to your agenda or not. When you're thinking ahead, like what's on the horizon for you? What are you building toward? What are your dreams?
Yeah, good questions. Yeah, I want to have my voice be heard that's something that's really important to me. So
Yeah.
I do want to get into podcasting and YouTube. I would like to just start talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Am I would like to write a book as well. Like, actually?
Yeah. Do you know what the title would be? You don't have to know.
I do.
You do.
What is it? Why can't I think of it right now? The truth will set you free.
Oh, truth is such an interesting word.
The
Okay, I'm
truth
coming
will
back to
set you
the idea of
free.
words. Tell me
Yes.
about like truth. What does that mean for you? Because I've had this conversation with other people.
Yeah. Yeah. So it is an ambiguous word, isn't it? It is, again, meaning for me is different for you.
Yeah.
I think when my point of naming my book that is I was able to just see the reality of my life
Yeah.
and my upbringing,
Mm.
and it felt like a Truman Show situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
it
yeah,
felt
yeah.
like I was,
constructed.
yeah, or like I was just, you know, the gaslighting was so severe, and that I just wasn't able, I was curious and confused for a very long time and wasn't able to put the pieces together. And then when I did, like it just, the mirror cracked, right? And I could see the real world. And so that sense of freedom was brought on by, you know, the deepest pain I've ever felt. And so I think truth and then right, honesty sort of go hand in hand.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I'm not one to really say like I'm living my truth or like what's your truth, or I don't really use that a lot. But I suppose just being, I'm very honest. I don't lie, and I don't have skeletons in my closet, right? I clean those things up. And that it ripples into everything in my life, right? I'm like really on point with my finances, you know. I don't like not pay shit. I don't like avoid things. I just get it done. Right, which, you know, but it just ripples into everything else. So I think my point of the truth is just, it's almost like the truth will set you free, but it might, you know, make you mad, insane, right?
Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's funny thinking about the difference between truth and honesty. Like honesty's like a much more active kind of word, right? It's like a practice to be honest, right? And it's interesting because like choosing to be honest, at least as honest as you can be with the context you have in the moment, right? Because, you know, there are things that play in our subconscious that block us sometimes from seeing.
Right. And there's like withholding the, you know, some information.
Yeah. But like, but having a practice of honesty, it frees up so much mental space that you don't have to spend on defending a lie.
I heard someone recently say, like, if there's one little lie, there's 20 other lies.
Exactly.
Like, why lie?
Right.
You know.
Why do you think we do? Why do you think we lie? Because I
knew
kids
as a kid.
Right. Kids do it early on.
I was protecting myself.
Yeah.
I was trying not to get in trouble.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like I was safe to tell the truth.
Yeah.
And that was a learned skill, right? I was like, A plus B equals C. I don't want C to happen again. So I'm going to do everything to manipulate A and B. So it's because kids are not treated as children. They're treated as, you know, adults sometimes have a really hard time of seeing a child's mind and even conceptualizing child development.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, many parents are completely inept with how children learn and where they are in their developmental stages. And that there's very specific ways to parent and communicate and work with them. And that's just like was, very unfortunate that that is not taught or even like thought of to learn. And so they are just, copying, pasting how they were handled or how they were, what they've seen. And a lot of that is just really detrimental. And so we like live in those white lies to stay safe. And then you just like, but it eats you alive.
Totally.
It
robs you of your freedom ultimately, right?
Yeah.
Even though you're trying to like stay safe and free.
Yeah. So it's just I from my experience definitely a lack of feeling safe enough to just be honest.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's interesting. When you were talking about the idea of like child development, I was thinking about spiritual development because I think that's something that you're offering folks, right?
Oh,
Definitely helping people kind of develop their spiritual, their intuition and their spiritual practice, and it was making me think of some of the amazing things that you found that have really helped in your journey. Would you mind sharing some of the really profound, because I think we don't always know where to go. Certainly a circle like the one you offer is such a beautiful thing, but there are so many other ways to go about it too.
Yeah, I mean, I've been sprinkled many incredible teachers throughout my entire 20s and into now, so I've been blessed, and I think I've just been able to recognize them. But yoga is like the golden thread of my life, right? So that connects me to everything and everyone for the most part. But when I started doing that when I was 18. Ooh, sorry, I was gonna sneeze. So once I got out of college and I was like, in sales, and I've always been a very intuitive person, but I was able to like go on my first yoga retreat, and that was really like transformative. And that both of the facilitators actually did mentorships with in 2 different times, but one of which was Adelaide Meadow, who is a female physiologist and mentor and body worker and birth attendant. And she is just so brilliant about the body, and is so can just explain the most complicated in layman's terms, and just like can like read a textbook and be like, got it, So I spent a lot of time with her in the beginning of her rollout for her online business, and learned so much from her in that period of time. And I've done women's work with her, which is a feminist analysis course. So I've studied with her there, as well as like female anatomy. So like I know from like a spiritual perspective, but like connecting to my feminine has been huge. And so, and recognizing how much I lived in the masculine for a really long time. And once I moved to Haverhill and I bought my house, I started to go to Seacoast Stilettos, which is a dance studio now in Peabody. And that space just unlocked this like sensuality and like this part of my brain, like learning choreography is like learning a new skill if you're not used to dance and just dancing in general. So I did a program with them, and like that really gave me this like power and confidence that I just didn't know it was within me,
Yes. Girl, I'm so glad you're saying this.
Yes.
Like I've been thinking about feminine embodiment recently, like connecting with your sensuality, with your sexuality, like that goddess energy.
Yes.
Like, tell me what that means for you.
Yeah. Well, how
can we all get there?
Yeah. So what I've learned is that there's a difference between queen energy and goddess energy. And queen energy is more in the masculine. Like she is the ruler. She's telling people what to do. She's making sure it's all going. you know? And then the goddess energy is just like laying back and receiving and knowing that you're going to get everything that you need and more, and just like be in that space. And so for me, I want to be there.
Yeah.
And doing it as often as I can. I was like at an event and I saw we're in this outdoor huge space, and I saw a friend across the way, and like I could have gone up and like gone say hi, and then I was like, I'll see her.
Yeah.
And she came over to see me.
Yeah.
And it's like at all times, like,
yeah.
Even when I was at I was at the Iron Cactus the other day, and like I was like, oh, I'll get some food, and later whatever, and I was so busy, and I just went out to like go outside, and then she was like, hey, like I made this wrong thing, do you want it? And I was like, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and I just accepted that I was gonna have to buy food or whatever, but it was like, then hand it to me. So just being like, the giving and receiving is a way of dancing with life.
Oh, that is so beautiful.
Yeah.
Dancing with life.
Giving and receiving.
Yeah, like giving not out of an expectation of reciprocity, right? Yes. Giving because it just like freaking feels good to give whatever it is.
Something nice for somebody.
Right? Because it brings you pleasure and joy. And it comes back. Like, that's not why we do it, but it does.
It's just like, how can I be of service?
How can I be of service? Yep. How can I help my people? How can I love myself even, you know? Because that, I think, sometimes is what we need. Yeah. Interesting. If you were to recommend like one thing for someone who is really in that mindset of my only value is in what I do, do, like what would your recommendation be?
God.
Good answer.
Jesus Christ. No. Well, yes, but your spiritual relationship, I believe, your connection to the divine or something beyond you, if that is not a top priority, then like, what is, like, what are you really doing anything for? And what do you think, it's all you? You think you're the only one doing everything all the time? No one's helping you? Are you beating your heart? Are you making the blood go through your veins? No. So maybe you are in co-creation with something else. And maybe you could have a full-blown relationship with the one you are co-creating with. Whether you like it or not, you're already in a relationship with them. You're in a relationship with everything.
Absolutely.
So I would say, like, really seek a higher power, because life gets way more fulfilling, way more loving, you start to see everyone as that extension. And so my biggest spiritual teacher is Aaron Abke, who I've spent countless hours listening to and learning from. And, I have just become an employee to the Most High from his teachings. And that's where I want to be. A devotee to the divine.
I love that.
And the true teachings of Christ,
Yeah, absolutely.
Because like, he never wanted to be worshipped. He really just wanted to be embodied.
Right.
And so I want to carry that out for him, because that's what he actually wanted. Yeah. He doesn't care if your faith without works is dead, yo. So you can't, it doesn't matter what you say with your lips, like your actions are what matters.
Exactly.
And so you gotta, love your God and love your neighbor too. Well, that's like, you see it though, but once you start loving something beyond you, you can then be like, oh, I can love me too, right? Because we're so like objective to ourselves.
Yeah.
So. That would be my recommendation.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my recommendation for most things.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
most problems.
Yeah.
Do you think it's all you, babe? Because, of course, you're anxious if you think you're the only one doing it, you know?
Definitely.
There's got to be something to call on and work with. That's not your mom or your boyfriend.
Yeah. I mean, it's a recurrent idea in every culture that ever existed, right? Whether it's, the muses, whether it's spirit, guy, there's so many,
I'm really comfortable with saying the G word, but like God, source, universe, whatever you want to call it.
It comes back to language again, right? Sometimes the words
people are like, oh God. I'm like, I'm so sorry. You have a choice to undo your religious trauma.
Yes.
And you do not have to live in that at all.
Right.
This is it's like choosing to, anything that it's Santa Claus. Okay.
Yeah.
We all know that story.
Mm-hmm.
We had a story. We now know the truth.
Yeah.
You can now do that with your religious beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
And you can worship Christ and you can worship the divine and never step foot in church ever.
Yep.
Not once.
Yep.
I don't. I go to church sometimes. I go to the Self-Realization Fellowship by Yogananda Paramahansananda in Somerville. And I just listen to a beautiful Indian woman read the Bible. And then she reads the Bhagavad Gita. And finds the same passages, basically, and then his interpretation of it.
So fun.
And I have Christ and Krishna right next to each other.
So fun.
And I get to just sit there and
of it
be
all
like,
is so beautiful.
This is great.
Yeah.
And it's like going to church. It's like a regular service.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that's when I want to.
Yeah. And so for our viewers and listeners, I want to make sure that people can find you, to learn from you, to work with you, to be part of your community and attend your groups. How can people find you?
Yeah, follow me on Instagram. I'm Robin_daughter. I'm there everywhere. So that handle, you can find me and connect with me. I'm like, you can DM me, you can message me, you can follow me. I'm very interactive, and I always post my events there. So stay tuned.
Awesome. I highly recommend. I did a sound bath with Stephanie, which was so beautiful. It was a floating sound bath.
Yes, in the pool.
Factoring in the water, the wind was there with us. It was a beautiful day.
The bats.
Yes, the bats came out. It was so beautiful and so healing.
Yeah.
So yes, please reach out, find Stephanie, and you will learn so much. Thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you.
So grateful.
Thanks, everybody.
Yay. Cool.